Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. and we are live for another episode or another segment of Ask Junior, presented by Xfinity. NASCAR fans, you know booming speeds when you see them. An Xfinity Wi-Fi connection, well, it's booming.
It is booming.
It really is. Like the roar of a NASCAR engine on race day, is fast as a V8 engine and reliable as a pit crew. One of the best pit crews on pit road. Xfinity Wi-Fi gives you the power and speed of NASCAR in your home. Choose the right plan for you, and you're off to the races. It's the best streaming experience with NASCAR or all of your favorite sports because Xfinity Wi-Fi is
booming.
Booming.
Like Kyle Busch in the turn one.
That's right. They don't just raise the bar. They stream in overdrive.
Overdrive.
Yep. They are a proud premier partner of NASCAR. Xfinity Wi-Fi. Pretty
Booming.
Cool. Yeah. Pretty good stuff. So everybody out there is starting to pile in, and let me open up my app.
Yeah, they're still piling in. We're actually early this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry. Just got a text from a friend of mine who tried our Jerky Boys beef jerky for the first time. Said he loved it. Yeah.
David Chang giving it a try.
David Chang, yeah. So he works with Amazon, and he happened to be out there as a guest. And we were sitting at dinner one night, and there was like 20 people at this table eating dinner with Amazon. And Trevor Bain goes, "Hey, Dale's got a jerky company." And I was like, "Damn, awesome serve there, Trevor." And David Chang goes, I'd like to try it. I said, "Well, I got a bag actually I brought from home. I'll give it to you tomorrow." So he come to the booth and tried it, and we filmed it, and we put it on social media. So one of the, celebrity chef giving you a bit of a taste test on your new jerky company. And he liked it. He said it was awesome, which I already knew that. But
yeah, but now you got like
the Jerky Boys jerky is the best jerky in the universe. It's better than even alien jerky. Yeah.
Have you had alien jerky before?
No, but nothing could compare to this. It is the best.
Gotcha.
It's because it's so good that there's nothing that could even be close. Like when you eat it, you're like, yeah, nothing's going to beat this.
It is good.
It is good. Be careful because we're a small company, and so we get a little, you have to be a little patient on your order because we're getting a lot of orders.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's great. It's good stuff. Anyhow, let's get to the questions. Let's have some fun.
All right, so first question comes from Tony, and I'm going to add a little caveat to it because what's your go-to drinking snack? Beef jerky cannot be answered here.
Why?
Because I'm taking that out.
Plug yourself.
Yeah.
All right. If I can't have Jerky Boys beef jerky, which we sell it right here in the gift shop at Junior Motorsports too, if you just want to come.
So it'd be weird if you couldn't have it.
Yeah, if you're living nearby and you don't want to order and wait for it to come from Nashville where we make it, you can buy it here. I'm actually moving the company to a building right here next to Junior Motorsports. We can make it right here.
So really, you're gonna have all the jerky you need.
Yes, it's so good. I mean, I think probably just peanuts.
Just regular?
Yeah, regular salted peanuts, probably easy.
Like
Pretzels,
dry roasted.
some pretzels. I don't care whether it's dry roasted, whatever. That I just want a little salt on it.
Kettle chips.
Nope,
No?
don't like kettle chips. They're too hard. Kettle chips are like unnecessarily difficult to eat. Oh, I love them. Why are? You know what? A good potato chip. Nothing beats salt and vinegar flavor.
They make kettle chip salt and vinegar.
They do, but I like the regular Lay's. The regular
Yeah.
white and blue bag. I see that sitting on the shelf. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
that's mine right there.
I think it's hard
that's
to
what I'm
beat
all about.
a regular Lay's potato chip just in general.
Doritos, classic.
Doritos are good, yeah.
Classic.
Cool
good.
Ranch. Oh.
Yeah. You remember when
Just
Jay
regular
Leno
Doritos.
Jay Leno was a spokesman for Doritos, and he's like, "Crunch all you want, we'll make more."
I don't remember that.
I was like, man, that was pretty convincing. I think I will have some more
Some more.
Doritos. Yeah. I don't know why they stopped working with him. He was a good spokesman for Doritos.
Probably got too expensive.
That means Doritos. They freaking got the money. But a good salt and vinegar chip is what's up.
No dip.
No, don't want to mess with that flavor.
Travis looks like a dip person.
Yeah.
Not for chips.
Chips and I don't dip chips.
Just get the chip with the flavor on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't get like this onion or whatever dip.
Like
if
a
that's what
French
you want.
onion dip or whatever.
Yeah, they don't make
That
like.
sounds terrible. French onion. You know what dip is good? But this is maybe more for a tortilla chip, right? Or is buffalo chicken.
Oh yeah,
Doing a little buffalo
Yeah.
chicken dip.
for sure.
The one dip that I never had until I moved down here, pimento cheese as the dip.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Pimento cheese is good. Just all around.
Yeah.
Make a sandwich.
Put on a burger,
Oh,
you could do whatever.
Yeah, you could put it on a burger. It's a good idea.
TJ don't like it?
That's disgusting. No,
I
do agree with the
from
buffalo. The buffalo, yeah, the buffalo dip's perfectly fine. You could put that on a sandwich too and eat it if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could.
A little chicken in there and stuff.
All right, next question. So SVG said he was leaking out of both holes. What's the sickest you have ever been while racing?
I've fortunately not ever been sick while racing. I probably had like a head cold or something, stuff like that. But I've never really had like a bad experience. I've never thrown up in the car or.
Did you ever have to take Imodium?
Huh? No. Before a race?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't take no drugs before a race. Were you crazy?
Asking if you took Imodium is not a
I know,
crazy
that's
question.
like-
it's
It's
a
like Pepto
risk.
Bismol.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know.
What's the risk?
I don't know what Imodium is. What does it do?
What?
It's like It's like
I
just makes you
don't
feel
get-
better.
I don't get sick.
It makes
like
it so that if it's coming out, it can stop it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to like stop you from doing that.
Really?
Yeah, from down there.
I think I just rather let nature take its course.
In your fire suit?
No, I've never been sick before a race, so I've never had to worry about this.
But if you were, would you take Imodium?
I probably would at the suggestion of someone. I probably would.
Yeah.
I'd probably try to make sure I got through the race.
When you have a head cold, because you're so focused on the race, does it kind of,
It's no problem.
you don't even think about it,
No.
right?
So when a driver's sick, when you hear that a driver is not feeling well, and they're, oh man, it's a little bit of a story. Wow, this guy's sick all morning. He's not feeling good. It's not a big deal to me because I know as soon as the race starts, they kind of forget about it. You're distracted by how much you got to focus on what you're doing. I mean, I'm sure there are some illnesses that are so severe that it would affect your performance, but like a flu or even like food sickness and stuff like that, typically you're still going to be able to go out there and compete at a high level. And if anything, for those few hours, you'll be distracted and almost, forget that you have this going on. I remember back in like 87 or something, Kyle Petty was, had the flu at Bristol, really sick, pretty bad. And he's out there leading the race, and they're like, oh man, Kyle Petty got the flu. Look at him go. And I'm like, all right. I was like, apparently you can still drive the shit out of a race car no matter how sick you are. And yeah, so I've never had to really experience that. I do know one time Mark McFarland.
I know. I was spotting that race.
Yeah, Mark McFarland was driving our Xfinity car at Phoenix. We're running like 8th. Pretty good for us. Our cars were 8th to 15th. And so Mark's doing a good job. Good little racer. And all of a sudden, he kind of goes high up in turns 3 and 4 and loses like 4 spots. And we're like, man, damn, what was that?
He disappeared on the radio too.
Yeah, he's real quiet. We kind of finished 14th or something. It's like, damn, I went to the car. And
Yeah.
look in there, and it was all over him.
Oh, no.
Like he had gotten sick over what they cooked. So whoever our cook was that day, our hauler driver, whatever, did some chicken that didn't quite work for Mark.
Yeah.
And it was all over his suit. And I was like, oh man, sorry. I was getting ready to go, what the F?
Yeah.
What'd you lose all these spots for? I want a top 10, man.
At some point, he changed his radio to channel 2 as well, and then someone's like, "Oh, he's on channel 2," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," because we couldn't hear him for a while.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, I was kind of like, oh crap.
that was the old Phoenix too.
So if you're puking, like literally throwing up, it might affect your lap time.
Just a little.
I would say that's probably going to matter.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
He had proof of it though.
Yeah.
Like It's all down his suit.
Yeah, if you're gonna lose spots, you better throw up. You can't just like have a little in your mouth and swallow it. Like you better.
Oh, I don't know.
I was always really careful. So I was like real careful not to eat anything that could be a risk, right? Like I wasn't going to eat off the truck. The truck food is fine, but it, if there was a 10% risk,
Cross contamination or whatever,
I wasn't going to do it. And so, I have like on race days, I would eat deli meat sandwich, like a ham or something, turkey, bread, mustard, basic, just to put something in there. And yeah, the day before, I had a routine, not like a super healthy thing. Just I had a routine. I ate the same meals every weekend for lunch, dinner, on Friday, on Saturday, basic, and just didn't change anything. I didn't go out. I didn't go to restaurants. Only when Amy really, demanded it. She's like, I got to get out of this bus.
Yeah.
We'd go somewhere.
The only time we go to Hard 8 in Texas, and that was kind of it.
There's a place in Pocono. We're going to Pocono this weekend.
Oh, Louis.
Louis.
Yeah.
I remember my dad when he raced, before I started racing, going to Pocono as a kid, going to Louis. And that was like there's certain race tracks where there's like a restaurant that your dad went to, and you're like, hey, I got to go. That was his routine. I wanted that to be my routine. So we'll do a Louis one night this weekend.
What will you get there?
They have their food's awesome.
Yeah.
Probably steak.
Yeah.
They have a French onion soup and stuff like that. I'll probably just have something like that.
Speaking of your dad, we saw obviously the Earnhardt documentary on Prime. Who's another driver that you'd like to see a documentary made on?
I think it might be cool to there's so many, but I think Wendell Scott would be cool. So there was a movie called Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor starred in it about Wendell. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
So I think it would be cool to dive into that story pretty deep with like a group like Imagine could really make that amazing. Junior Johnson.
That would be a good one.
So there's a movie. So if you haven't seen Grease Lightning, I would see Grease Lightning with that. It's dated. It's an old movie, but Richard Pryor in a, it's not a comedy, right? Richard Pryor playing someone in a more dramatic role is pretty unique in itself. They also had a movie about Junior Johnson called Last American Hero. Jeff Bridges was the star.
Mm-hmm.
And before Jeff Bridges was a star, this was made in 1973. But I would say Last American Hero is my favorite racing movie. And they just didn't know any better than to make it authentic as it could be, right? It was before really Hollywood would Hollywood up something, right? And so it's just really kind of a very raw, low budget, but good racing film. And so those would be two characters I think that would be pretty incredible. Like Junior and his family, like his dad made Shine in the Mountains, and his dad goes to jail, and his dad was so Junior, to support the family, is also making moonshine and gets busted, and his dad's pissed that he did that. And so I'd love to know more about that part. I think an Imagine would tell you like the guts of a person's story, not so much like, oh, he won this race and he succeeded and did, the stats and the numbers. It'd be more about that, the steel and in the woods and running from the law and doing all the things that they were doing, trying to make it work so he could get enough money to afford to race. So if it's anything like the Jeff Bridges movie, I think it's a cool story to tell.
Next question. Were you superstitious at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What you have? What superstitions did you have?
Well, any of the traditional ones. Yeah, but I like walking under ladders, breaking glass, things like that. All
$50 bill.
Yeah, $50 bills. Dad. So I just did everything Dad did, right? And if Dad believed something, I believed something. And Dad thought $50 bills were suspicious. If he didn't want one in his pocket, If you tried to give him one, he wouldn't take it. And so I have that as well, as silly as it sounds. My grandfather, Ralph Earnhardt, was very serious about peanuts being around his race car. That's an old
what's that,
racer's.
David?
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know where the origin of that comes from, but apparently, like if you came around, so a handful of peanuts or peanuts in a brown bag that was a common racetrack snack.
Yeah.
Or before we had all the we have today, snacking in the 50s was relatively basic. A bag of peanuts was pretty common as an item at a racetrack, and it's or what am I talking about? Where you go buy the food.
The convenience store?
Not the convenience
Gas
store,
station?
but
The food stand.
Yeah,
Concession?
the food stand, concession.
Thanks, James.
So but apparently if you walked by his car and spent too much time with that bag of peanuts, he would tell you to leave. Or he didn't want you around the car with those. That did not carry to my generation. I didn't give about peanuts. But the color green was apparently superstitious. Obviously, we have all gotten over that. We don't continue to. I drove green race cars. I used to say, man, how could they say green was bad luck when we all love money? Money's green. The green flag waves. What the hell are we doing here? We're racing for money, at the end of the day. So I never understood that superstition with racing. But mine were always pretty traditional. I didn't have like a weird one, like I got to wear this pair of underwear every race day, or I got to do this. Everybody used to ask me, like, what is the thing in the morning that has to happen? It wasn't really so much of a superstition, but the prayer. So we have a MRO person that walks pit road, and there's maybe at the cup races, there may be a couple, and they go to every driver. But while you're standing outside of your car with your team, your wife, whatever it may be, they'll come up and go, hey, can we pray? Can I pray with you? And if you want to pray, you pray, right? And I'm religious, so I'm all about that. So I felt like I was going to say a prayer to myself, right? I'm sitting in the car, get all buckled in, and I'll close my eyes, say a little prayer. God, keep me safe. I want to, I don't pray for a win, but I'm like, hey, man, I just like to leave here with a smile on my face. That's not too much to ask. And so, but I always felt like that if that didn't happen, and sometimes there would be these odd occurrences where things would get so busy that maybe they got tied up and they didn't get to everyone. Because sometimes you'd already be in the car buckled up, and the MRO pastor would come by and just grab your hand. And I always felt like when I didn't get that prayer that I was less safe, that I was like not protected in some weird way.
I can get superstitious with just watching my teams play.
Yeah.
Sometimes just change your clothes at halftime.
Oh, wow.
Because that matters.
Change the spot where you sit on the couch.
Yeah. Oh, I will say this. Like, I have this feeling that my team does better when I don't watch. If I'm busy or something, occupied, and I can't see the game, it's like or if they're playing well and I turn it on
And they start playing bad, you're like,
I'm like, it's me. I've turned it on, and now they're gonna start playing bad. I don't get to see like the touchdown pass live, right? I miss that. I miss all the good shit. And then when I turn it on, they fumble the ball or go 3 and out, and get scored on. I'm like, but I don't know what that is. Is that really superstitious?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
TJ, are you as a fan or anything?
I'm definitely superstitious with some things, watching football games and stuff too. Like, I do like to sit in a certain spot and not move. So,
Yeah.
but I don't change clothes at halftime.
Yeah. That's strange.
One more question. Bob wanted to know any racing tips. He's struggling at Pocono and iRacing. Can you help him out?
Save fuel, you'll go faster. Lift early.
What?
Remember that time?
On iRacing?
You're driving in too deep.
We're talking about iRacing.
Same thing. You can still overdrive the corner.
Okay. I'm ready to get back on iRacing. I've been in a bit of a dry spell. I've been too busy. The summer's a bit of a grind, so I haven't really had a chance to get on there too much. Haven't even tried out the new Gen 4 cars. They have the new Gen 4 car get released.
Playing too much NCAA.
I've been watching a lot of clips on Reddit or conversations people are having around the new updates and all the I'm missing.
Where do you want to race?
Apparently, the new Gen 4 car's draft is too powerful, and they need to cut it back a little bit.
Where do you want to take that Gen 4 car? What track would you like to race first at?
Yeah, I don't know. Charlotte. they got the super speedway bodies too for like Talladega, Daytona, the old big noses. So that I don't know. I'd like to go. I just miss being on iRacing. I haven't had a chance to really do a ton this summer. We're just so busy.
You'll enjoy the mile and a
with the
half
broadcasting and stuff. I hear it's a little bit too strong on the draft, and it's kind of pack racing at like Charlotte and places.
I mean, I ran at Charlotte, but I ran at Vegas, and you gotta really save the tires a lot. And you can
good.
Like you'll lift in the tri-oval or the dog leg on the front stretch of Vegas because you're so free.
Well, that doesn't feel
35 laps in, you're like, oh, I'm gonna wreck.
That doesn't sound realistic. Loose in the
well, you burnt the tires off.
Yeah, but the car never has had a
that's
balance issue there.
I
heard it was a handful through the dog leg at Charlotte.
I'm sure it is.
That's not. It shouldn't be.
Oh, actually, we'll have one more. Aaron wants to know, how was your margarita in Mexico on the set?
I didn't drink it. I got a beer.
You got a beer?
Yeah. They told us to be careful with the water.
Oh, because ice
and all that. And I was like, hey, I got to this point. I'm not.
I know. Yeah.
I'm not taking a risk. So I said, hey, y'all got them margs out? They had me a marg, and I was like, I saw somebody had a Modelo or something down there. I was like, give me one of them beers instead.
That's a smart thing.
Yeah.
It's probably could have saved you.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for us.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Surely we got time for one more.
All right. We'll go back to I forget who asked this.
This is what I love to do, man.
I swear it is. He's so prepared.
Yeah.
No, I got one written down here.
He's got the next one.
We'll go back to this one. Let me look back.
What was one of your favorite video games that you played growing up?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Many.
I know.
Golly.
I mean.
So when I got there, so when I lived with Dad, I moved into Dad's house in '81, and he had an Atari downstairs. So I played all the Atari games.
Is that like Pitfall and stuff?
No, man. This is like Pong.
Yeah, okay.
Like the basic, original OG.
Yeah.
So I played those. Got the original Nintendo, Mario Brothers, Zelda, Excite Bike, Double Dribble, Blades of Steel, all of those. And eventually Bill Ellis NASCAR Challenge, and
that was a good one.
IndyCar, Days of Thunder. But I would say my favorite video game outside of iRacing, I mean, iRacing is
I feel like its own category.
Yeah, it is. But on console, Dirt to Daytona was pretty solid.
That was a lot of fun.
Yep. And then Madden and college football. I actually like college football a little bit better than Madden. Madden, the gameplay to me, Madden's a little better, but just the way the players move and stuff. But
it always seems like it's just a little bit newer or something.
The off-season and midweek grind in Madden is just a little
I don't want to deal with a salary cap and
a little too much.
Do math, and
it's too detailed.
I remember, did you ever play GoldenEye?
Oh, GoldenEye was a lot of fun.
I never messed with that.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Man.
Split screen. Yeah, that was when you play against somebody, you split the screen. Yeah.
That was a good one. And then Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball in the 64 was a fun one for me.
There was a time where we played a lot of Tom Clancy games.
Yeah, we did do tons of Rainbow Six.
Right when it first came out.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Did you ever do SOCOM?
No. We did Rainbow Six, and they had this map called Bunkers, no cross, so you couldn't get to the other side.
Well, that was a gentleman's agreement.
It was like literally, they had made mod maps where you couldn't literally cross, and it basically was just you peeking out behind the same buildings.
Waiting for a guy's head to pop up.
Yeah, and you're just hoping to be the one peek out there
at the right time.
Nobody's looking, and then you're just like,
there's a couple little huts you could get in.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Little bunkers.
It's so silly. I had forever in my house, so going as back as far as I can remember. I had an octagon. I got 4 desks that were corner desks, right? just a cheap one. You go buy and you screw it together. And I put them in an octagon. So there were 4 stations, like a cubicle. And I got 4 identical Alienware computers. And TJ, me, and 2 other buddies, D. Neal, and a couple other people would play each other.
Yeah, it was like 3 of us and 1 spare computer.
Yeah. And we'd sit there and we'd play online, but sometimes we just do bunkers, no crossing, just us. And we raced online. When Truex lived with me and TJ come over, TJ lived just up the driveway, man, we'd sit there till 4 or 5 in the morning racing
forever,
hour after hour after hour, race after race after race after race. And just,
you look up and you're like, 6 a.m.
Yeah. Just all night long.
There was a couple times where we would take a router to the racetrack and we took 2 laptops and we'd play the Age of Empires or something.
Something like that.
We'd do something like that, but
all right. Yeah, that was a good last question. Good ad.
Just for you.
Saved yourself.
Just
good
for you.
idea.
Saved yourself right there.
Thanks to Xfinity for bringing us today's Ask Junior segment. Be sure to check out Xfinity Wi-Fi and experience the booming speeds for yourself. Their service is fast. And as NASCAR fans, we know what fast is all about. Choose the right plan for you, and you're off to the races with the best streaming experience with NASCAR or all your favorite sports, because Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. They don't just raise the bar. They stream in overdrive. They're a proud premier partner of NASCAR and a great partner here at Dirty Mo Media. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all later.